This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me at Backup Bradley on Twitter above at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here. Guys, if you haven't gotten on that monthly newsletter, make sure you do so. A lot of exclusive content, really, really cool stuff, getting great feedback from that. Make sure you get on that newsletter. All right, with that being said, you know what time it is. Let's do the numbers. Pure VPN, 7-day trial for 99 cents. Let's go ahead and do these numbers. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, I got to be honest. I bought the dip last night. $10,398 for Bitcoin, 79 cents. Ethereum, $392.04. And XRP is 25 cents, 0.2560 for XRP right now. Market cap is at 11.5 billion, and the 24-hour volume is at 2.2 billion, almost 2.3. The total circulating supply is 45 billion, 11 million plus. The 24-hour is down about 3.75%. Those are your numbers. Guys, make sure you check the link in the description box and the comment section for all the deals. There's a lot of really great specials going on, whether you need a Ledger Nano or Pure VPN for one of your layers of protection online. Make sure you check that out. So we're going to do the XRP news today and the crypto space news today. There's a lot of information that is out this morning, and I think we need to cover it to get a really good overview, a macro view of the kind of motion that's really happening to adopt this digital currency space and this new financial world, this new internet of value that we're all going to be moving into. And it starts right here with XRP Crypto Wolf. Norway central bank digital currency project is now in its third phase. Norges Bank is assessing whether to issue a digital form of central bank money to ensure members of the public are able to pay efficiently and securely in Norwegian, I guess it's kroner in the future. So there we have another little piece of information there with the CBDC project in Norway. And then we move to Denmark, proposes use of blockchain in fight against corruption. Denmark emphasizes the use of blockchains will build a more transparent governance and transaction system, further adding that it will also give individuals greater rights over their own data. There's no lie about that. Shout out to Denmark for making those advancements. And this is something that we're seeing in other places too, and this is what I like, and we're going to get to that. There's some bigger pieces of news that we're going to touch on here in just a second. SBI VC Trade is considering distributing Flare Network Spark token airdrop to the XRP holders. They're currently confirming and discussing the facts and investigating the response status, and will inform everyone soon. Very excited to hear more about that. Then we move into this, and this is the Swiss Canton Zug, aka Crypto Valley, plans to begin accepting taxes in cryptocurrency from the start of 2021. Citizens and companies based in Zug will be able to pay up to 100,000 CHF, around $109,000 of their taxes in Ethereum or Bitcoin. Now, I happen to think that, you know, no matter how you feel about, you know, other coins like Bitcoin or Ethereum or things of that nature, seeing, you know, an area or region move to be able to accept taxes in Ethereum or Bitcoin, to me, is a huge step forward, whether it's the Swiss Canton Zug or some other region of the world. I think this level of adoption by the governments or the local municipalities accepting taxes in these forms is an enormous step in the right direction. So let's keep this going. This is a really good one here from XRP Crypto Wolf, and I had a couple people send this to me and the PDF. I read the PDF, and you can breathe a sigh of relief because I'm not going to read it to you, but it was a great read. So this is about Andrew Bailey, the Bank of England governor, floats future ecosystem of stablecoins and CBDCs. And I don't mind telling you, he discussed global stablecoins as well. So with that being said, let's just drill down on this for a second here, because this was really good. So Bank of England governor floats future ecosystem of stablecoins and CBDCs. He makes a very valid point that CBDCs and stablecoins do not have to be the same thing. His remarks comes as UK Central Bank researches possible applications for CBDCs. Andrew Bailey, the governor of Bank of England, gave wide-ranging speech on Monday that touched on stablecoins, CBDCs, and the future of payments. During his speech, Bailey criticized, and I mean he did, he flat out said Bitcoin is not the solution. Digital assets like Bitcoin, they strike me as unsuited to the world of payments. That's exactly what he said. Where certainty of value matters, he said, but highlighted fiat-tied stablecoins as something that could offer some useful benefits for payments. At one point in his speech, Bailey articulates a possible future in which both stablecoins and CBDCs coexist and complement one another from a user experience perspective. Stablecoins and CBDCs are not necessarily mutually exclusive depending on design choices. They could sit alongside each other either as distinct payment options or with elements of the stablecoin ecosystem such as wallets providing consumers with access to a CBDC. So there would be likely a role for private and public sector working together in the future of payments, he said, adding, as well, not as being exclusive, stablecoins and let me get this off here real quick. Stablecoins and CBDCs are not the only way to meet the changing demands and reducing frictions in payments. We need to continue enhancing existing infrastructures, including by renewal and harmonization of the RTGS system. This work will continue in parallel with other developments. There are also initiatives like UK's new payments architecture, which offers a consolidated and open retail payment infrastructure. On the question of stablecoin framework, Bailey echoed the comments of other regulators in that he sees a need for international coordination. And I don't mind telling you, he went really far into this, and I'll go here. To this end, he highlighted the work being done by the G7 and the Financial Stability Board, the result of which will be made public in greater detail this fall. Wow. You know, let me just stop there for a second because he absolutely did. And he talked about the G7 and the G20. And, you know, the narrative here has been that we have learned on this channel, these developments come from the top down. From the G7, G20, the FSB, the FATF, these regulatory bodies connected to the G20 and the G7, right? And that is exactly what he reinforced here. He also talked about global stablecoins and mentioned them at least 3 times. So FSB consulted in April on regulatory and supervisory challenges, which we covered here on this channel. You guys can search that in the playlist, with the final report due in October. And the Bank of England supports the efforts to set a baseline set of expectations, said Bailey. These include the stablecoins should be regulated based on the function they perform and the risk they create, and that there should be comprehensive domestic and international regulation and supervision. I completely agree. Global stablecoins should have a robust governance and risk management and be transparent about their stability mechanisms and coin holders' rights, he continued. So this is really great because I see October as being this big moment of, you know, you have the IMF has a meeting October 12th through October 18th. I just covered a couple weeks ago the webinar where the IMF discussed an external adjustment to dominant currencies like the US dollar to the exchange rate peg. And then you have this information here. We know that the G7 and the Financial Stability Board is supposed to come to a final report in October as well. We hear the encouraging words to push forward to get this established, to really come up with a real ecosystem that works. And I think they're going to come out with a system where stablecoins and CBDCs live alongside each other. I really do. So it's going to come down to what we're going to talk about this in a second, but the OCC as well, who spoke. And if you guys haven't seen the video that I put out on that yesterday, late evening, you should definitely check that out. Okay, so MIT is helping boost the Fed build a CBDC that can be scaled for consumer use. And we know that that's been in the works, but we're keeping an eye on that. It just goes along with the news of the day here. This is what we covered here a second ago, so let me move that. And this represents the first time a fintech has acquired nationally chartered and regulated bank, according to CNBC. So this was from the conversation yesterday from Brian Brooks at American Banker. like I said, if you haven't seen the video that I covered on that, it has some pretty great statements from Brian Brooks from the OCC on that. And the deal was consummated following the final approval of the OCC and the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco. GECO, first fintech to swallow a national bank. And that was one of the remarks that he made. Some of the other remarks that Brian Brooks made in that video or in that talk was that we would be hearing a cadence of comments from the OCC as it pertains to cryptocurrencies and stablecoins alike. And that even refers to reserve requirements for these stablecoins, which really, if you think about that comment that Brian Brooks made, it really falls in line with what we just talked about with Andrew Bailey from the Bank of England. Yeah, again, there is a consistency. There is a narrative that is being carried on each side of the world as we walk towards integrating the new financial system or the internet of value. It really isn't remarkable how this is getting done. And I know for a lot of people, it doesn't feel like it's happening fast enough. But to me, this is what else? I mean, I don't know what else. We can't wave a magic wand. I mean, these are the things that need to happen. So this is a shout out to Michael Val 5 Links and XRP Crypto Wolf and DJ Peter Vast and all the people who send information. SBI Holdings, Japanese financial giant and a major blockchain focused institution, is reportedly planning to set up a blockchain based digital stock exchange. This is so amazingly bullish to me because, this is where we go. A new framework from the ground up. Not a Band-Aid, not a patch, right? Not a remodel of the old system. A new system, period. A new infrastructure which is built on blockchain. That's where we're going. Shout out to SBI. That is remarkable news. Now, another thing I wanted to touch on here was this is where we talked to heard from Brian Brooks yesterday, and he said he expects the OCC to put out more guidance around banks. And like I said, some of the things that were covered in there, and you need to watch that video that I talked about, is he talked about, we need to get past, the SEC wanting to kind of, just say that everything belongs in their under their guise, and the CFTC thinking everything belongs under their guise as well. We need that clarity. I think Brian Brooks in the OCC is exactly the right person and department to bring that clarity, because a lot of what we're talking about here, especially for payments and cross-border payments, really, to me, makes XRP a currency and maybe some other things as well. So, okay. Now, with that, there was another comment that he made in there about blockchain. And he made it very clear that blockchains can be used for payment networks for banks. I thought that was another statement that he made that felt casual, but it was very, very profound to me, because it was making it very clear that blockchain for payments for banks is completely acceptable as a payment rail. So that's another huge step forward. So we're going to have to keep watching for the coming weeks of all of this information. One thing I do know is that it is remarkable to see all of this unfolding. What I feel is so very quickly. I know a lot of people don't, I really do. And look, I don't know how long everybody's been in this space. I've been in here 3.5 years, I guess it is at this point. But for me, the level of government officials that are speaking on blockchain and digital currencies and stablecoins and regulators, I could have never imagined that 3 years ago that any of these people or entities or regulatory agencies would be speaking so deeply and so clearly about any of this. And that to me is extremely exciting. All right, before I get out of here, I do want to remind you guys, man, I have been going crazy on unstoppable domains, and I've got a link in the description for it too. Look, I have locked down some really, really cool stuff. I got guitar online.crypto. I got drums online.crypto. I mean, these are huge names to get. To me, it's just remarkable. It is such an open space. There's so many domains that are available And somebody just, last week sold sex.crypto for $90,000 and they bought it for $40. I don't know about you, but while I'm waiting for my crypto to go nuts, I'm going nuts on unstoppable domains. So if that's something that interests you, maybe you'll find some keywords and domains that you really like a lot. So make sure you guys check that out. That link is in the description as well. Hit the like and subscribe, guys. That's your XRP news for the day and crypto news widely. Stay tuned. There'll be another video later this afternoon. Happy Friday to everybody. Hit the like and subscribe. Share with somebody you know. We'll catch all of you on the next one.